Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tinesha Davis. This is Fun and Budget, where I use my real life to teach you real lessons. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the worst purchase I ever made, my timeshare. All right, so let's talk about it. I'm going to share with you exactly why this is my worst purchase, because it still baffles me how in the year of 2023, our Lord, in 2024 and 2025, or whenever you happen to be watching this, that some people still think, they are still convinced actually, that timeshares are a wise investment. I'm going to tell you exactly why they are not, okay? So here's my story. I purchased my timeshare when I was 27 years old, okay? I went there for the little meeting and I turned down all of the offers. So a lot of you guys are going to be familiar with this. When you go, they're going to start you out and they're going to offer you something. After they take you on a tour of a luxurious space, they're going to start you out with something that is high, actually. And the more you say no, they're not going to take that for an answer. What they're going to do is they're going to give you lower and lower offers. So finally, they got me down to an offer that I felt was a good deal. It was $11,000. $11,000 offer, okay? So I'm like, okay, I can do this. But here's the thing. This is what you probably won't know. But what you buy is actually going to be sight unseen. In your mind, you think you're going to be getting one of the beautiful properties that they just showed you. This is not true. The lower offer is usually coming from inventory that's either older or coming from a time frame. This is back when mine wasn't points, it was a deeded week. So it was a time frame that wasn't as popular. So it wasn't during a popular time of the season. Okay, so that's what makes it affordable. So purchased my $11,000 timeshare and I was able to pay that off. So I did not finance it. I was able to pay that with cash. And I say that to say that everything that I'm going to tell you about as far as the numbers go, it's not even including interest. It's not even including if you are actually financing the timeshare. So never mind the raw number of your purchase price. You got to factor in interest. Okay. So there we go. Got this timeshare. It was for a week that wasn't as popular. This was October. The location was Virginia Beach, Virginia. Okay. October gets kind of cold. So I say that to say a few years later, maybe 4 or 5 years later, I went back to a meeting. And as an owner, what they try to do is they try to have you upgrade your purchase because the goal is to get more money from you. Yeah, that initial $11,000 wasn't enough. Their goal is going to be for here and forevermore to get more money from you. So they want you to either upgrade your timeshare to either a newer model or what I opted to do, a better week. I was like, you know what? They sold me on if I upgrade the week, then I can have more success with my timeshare, because they're going to tell you all the things that you can do with your timeshare, all the ways you can make money with your timeshare. I'm here to tell you it is not true. There's no money to be made with timeshares, right? For the most part. I mean, there is a way, but you would have to own like a lot of units. You have to own more than one timeshare. You would have to do a lot of things. It's not worth it. All right. So anyways, I upgraded my week to a July weekend. So it was 4th of July weekend. And for me, I was like, this is a more attractive week. And on top of it being more attractive, I can actually sell the week if I wanted to. But let's do the math. So I upgraded the week for $15,000 additional dollars. Paid $15,000 more to upgrade my week, okay? So this makes my investment in my timeshare $26,000 altogether. Now again, spread out, it didn't feel like that much money, and it felt like, oh, this makes sense because they're going to present it to you. They're going to sell it to you in a way that makes so much sense. But when I do the math, which we rarely do, it doesn't make sense. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why is because the average vacation, the typical vacation, will actually cost you, I'm talking about accommodations, not flight, not anything else, because a timeshare is for your accommodations. It's not the cost that it will cost you to travel to that location, the food you're going to eat on that vacation, the activities you're going to do on that at that location or on that vacation. It's just simply the accommodation. Accommodations for a typical vacation, I'm going to say, is $700 for a week. $700. And we can get the $700 any number of way. I can say it's going to cost me $700 if I'm traveling with friends and this is my portion of the accommodation, or it's going to be $700 because the place we're going is just not that expensive and the total price is $700 on average. Okay, trust me guys, I take a vacation about once a month, once every other month. I go out of the country on average 4 to 5 times a year. I do have a whole YouTube channel. You can check my receipts. You can check the facts there. I do. So I know the cost of vacations. And just in case you don't believe me, I pulled up some receipts. Now, let's look at this. This is what I did. I looked up from Saturday, July 8th, checking in, and checking out on Friday, July 14th. So this is 6 days. This is 6 nights, okay? So I looked that up, and I looked it up at various locations. Let's take a look at Vegas. So we want to go to Vegas for 6 days. How much is that going to cost us? I'm using booking.com, guys. And I'm choosing places that I've actually been to before. So that means that they're good enough for me. They may not be top of the line, but they're not the bottom of the line either. And they are a typical vacation, a typical location that people would stay at. So in this case, in Las Vegas, we're looking at the Luxor. Okay? The Luxor in a pyramid tower with 2 queen beds for 6 nights, the total cost, not including taxes, is $407. Not a night. That's for all 6 nights. $407, okay? Now, because the Luxor is like a middle grade resort on the strip, let's say we're going to do it big and we're going to stay in the Pyramid King Corner Suite. If the 2 queens aren't enough, we're going to stay in the Pyramid King Corner Suite. That is $681. See what I'm saying? So it's still lower than $700. Okay, you don't want to go to Vegas. Let's go to Nashville. Nashville, Tennessee. Same deal. The same 6 nights, the same time frame. An apartment, split level at the, what is this place? Sonder at LC Sobro. Okay? Downtown Nashville. $778 for 6 nights. For 6 nights. You don't want to go to Nashville? All right, let's not go to Nashville. Let's go to Miami Beach. Miami Beach. Matter of fact, we're gonna stay on South. We're gonna stay in South Beach. We're gonna stay right off of Collins Avenue, and this one is gonna be at the Design Hotel. Okay, same time frame. Oh, how much is this costing for an urban studio with a balcony? $741. And on top of that, they're even gonna throw in free airport transportation. Free shuttle to and from the airport, okay? $741. You don't want to be in the United States. All right, let's go abroad. Let's go to Amsterdam. How much is Amsterdam going to cost us for the same time frame for 6 nights? All right, it's a little more expensive, but remember, we can split this by 2. So Amsterdam, 6 nights, very nice hotel. This is going to be at the Hotel Library in Amsterdam. And they are also going to give us free airport transportation for the grand total of $1,376. Divide that by 2. Again, we're under $700. So I say that to say the typical stay for 7 days at a hotel practically anywhere is on average $700, okay? And this is for, it's not the super high end, but it's not low end either. Now, if I take that $700 and I say, okay, I'm going on vacation once a year, because that's what your timeshare is getting you, typically once a year, 7-night stay in a timeshare. Divide that by the $26,000 that I paid for the luxury of having this timeshare. That's going to take me 37 years to get a return on my investment. So I'm going to have to stay at that same place for 37 years, or it don't have to be that same place, because as y'all know, what timeshare is going to tell you, oh no, you can use this anywhere. You can use this anywhere around the world. That's a whole nother story, because that's a lie. Because I found in the history of owning my timeshare that every time I try to use it for a place that I wanted to go when I wanted to go, they didn't have the things available. They didn't have it available for when I want it, for where I want it, okay? So, but let's say like you can get it for anywhere around the world when you want to go. It's still going to take you a good 37 years before that math starts making sense. I purchased my timeshare when I was 27. So this means by the time I'm 64 years old, I'm actually starting to see a return on my investment. But guess what? That's not even counting the annual maintenance fees that you have to pay with your timeshare. The annual maintenance fees. Maintenance fees that go up, that increase every single year, but we're not even going to factor that in either. Now, another thing your timeshare salesperson is going to tell you is, but hey, you can make money off of your timeshare, because even though you pay for this timeshare upfront or finance, whenever you use it, you can bring your friends and you can charge them. But let's be realistic. How many of us are going to go someplace that we feel we've paid for, right? It's kind of paid for, even if we're financing it. And we're going to sit there and charge our friends to be there with us. How many of us are going to do that? Raise your hand. Better yet, raise your hand if you have done that. Tell me that instead. Because I find that in theory, a lot of us say a lot of things, but when the reality pops up, we rarely do what we say we're going to do. So raise your hand. Tell me in the comments if that is what you actually did with your timeshare. And then tell me how much money you made year in, year out doing that with your timeshare. Okay? But let me tell you something. So I did one better. I did another thing that they said you can do. You can actually rent your timeshare out to other people. Not with you there, but you're actually just renting it out to other people. So I've done this. For the past good 7-8 years, I've rented my timeshare out to other people. Now, renting my timeshare out to other people for that week, I actually took home $1,200 a year. $1,200. Now here's the problem. My timeshare got up to $1,000 for the maintenance fees, for the annual fees. $1,000 on average. And I say that because one year it was probably like $981. Another year it was probably $1,021 because they said that they had to add some repair fees. Repair fees, like for real? We're paying you maintenance fees, but now you're saying that there's this extra tax because maybe there was a hurricane in the area and now the roof was damaged. So now you have to access all of the owners to make these repairs, right? And we don't have a say in this. We don't have a say. We have to pay it. So $1,000 a year. So this means that if I'm renting my timeshare out once a year and I'm getting $1,200 for it, after I pay my maintenance fee of $1,000, that leaves me with a $200 profit. Never mind that that $200 profit does not speak to taxes. So let's just act like that $200 is free and clear. I don't have to pay taxes on it, right? Because we were able to write off enough for expenses so that our taxes are covered. So $200 profit, but I paid $2,600 for this timeshare. But I paid $26,000 for this timeshare. So what does this mean? This means if I divide that $200 into that $26,000 that I paid, it means that it will take me 130 years, if all things stay the same, if the maintenance fees are never raised, if they don't charge me any more assessment fees, if all things stay the same, it's gonna take me 130 years before I see a return on my investment. But you still think timeshares are worth it. You still think timeshares are a good idea.